Hello Multiverse, welcome to Omniverse Gamers. My name's Damian Desio. Today's video is going to dissect another dynamic encounter. We're going to call this one Wild Boar and Tabaxi Teens. This is from Pirates of the Ashen Sea. The group is trying to make contact with this tribe of Tabaxis that they believe are in the north of this island. They've had some dealings with the owl bears and the armadillo tribes, and supposedly there's a Tabaxi tribe somewhere on this island too, and they're trying to make contact with these tribes to get permission to go to the temple that's in the center of the island. And they've had some dealings with the armadillos, as you've seen. They've had a lot of dealing with these owl bears, which you will continually see because that's like they hate these owl bears. But anyway, what they're going to do, they're going to go to the Tabaxi side of this island, and they're going to try to find some Tabaxi. No one's been able to make contact with Tabaxi because they're very secretive and they're having dealings with the owls themselves. So they're hiding. They have their own issues going on. They believe there's Tabaxi here. No one's actually verified that there's Tabaxi here, other than rumors that they've heard. But they have a Tabaxi in the party, so they're hoping that bringing a light race, they can maybe do better than. Maybe they can make contact somehow. They're going to try. And, they don't know. And the Tabaxi don't want to make contact with anybody. They're pretty xenophobic, pretty scared, just like the armadillos were. But this group they managed to befriend the armadillos, so they're thinking, well, maybe we can do the same with Tabaxi. We have a Tabaxi. We didn't have an armadillo. We have a Tabaxi. What you doing? So I saw this map, the beach map. And I didn't really know how this was going to go down. I had a couple different options, but they happened to come to this beach, and they were just kind of hanging around. They said, as they came to the beach, they thought they saw a campfire, but then when they got closer, the campfire was out, and the smoke kind of the smoke dissipated a little bit as someone put their fire out and ran away. So they came to this beach here. I'll show you this map. Let me switch over and I'll show you. This was a map that was made by Urza Is Mine. Their Patreon is Neutral Party. Links down below. They have a lot of cool maps. They have an amazing bunch of maps on their Patreon, so definitely go check that out. So I just kind of flipped this upside down because I wanted to. They were coming from the north, same map. I just flipped it horizontally. I left the watermark there because whatever advertisement, even though it's upside down, it's still on there. So they come to the beach. They have a net. They put their net. They were gonna wait. They go, well, somebody was here obviously, so let's just kind of wait and hang out and see what happens because they know the Tabaxi are awake at night and they sleep during the day. Most of them. That's what they're nocturnal creatures because the Tabaxi that's with them kind of tells them that, and they kind of know that. They're just kind of milling around on the beach. They put their nets out to catch some oysters and crabs and fish and stuff just for food. They always do that when they're on a new island. And they're just kind of chilling out, trying to find footprints. They know that somebody's been here recently. They kind of hastily tried to mop up their area. So let me switch over to my side view. So as you can see, they're kind of milling around where this campfire was, and at a certain point, they're going to hear a rustling in the southeast, and they're going to hear this like meow, and this roar, it's like growl, and there's the crazy meow scratching sounds, and it's like, oh my god, something's going on over there. And before they can even go check it out, this boar comes bursting through the bushes, this massive boar, and on it is these three Tabaxi that are they look kind of youngish. They're teenagers, and they're all just kind of doing their best to try to take this boar down as this boar is just running with them and they're dangling from it, and it's just about to jump off this cliff with them, and that's when we roll initiative. That's when initiative kicks in. So the Tabaxi rogue, he can zip really fast. He runs right over there and gets right up the cliff and gets ready to stab it. He's like, first he was like, I'm gonna go under the cliff and try to stab from me. I'm like, well, this thing's ready to jump. This thing's running right over the cliff. He's like, oh, okay, so maybe I'll get up on the cliff, and when it jumps off, I can get an opportunity attack, maybe. So he goes up, he attacks it. The thing is, this boar is huge, and I used a Triceratops. I did not alter it at all. I just used a regular Triceratops because it has a gore, and it has a stomp attack, and it has a trampling charge, everything a boar would have, but it's more powerful. So I didn't have to alter the Triceratops at all. So that's an example of how you can use one monster to be another monster. Because everything a Triceratops can do, a wild boar can do. They have horns. It's all the same. It's just I want a bigger boar. But also these teens are dangling from it, so they're kind of giving it cover. So even they don't want to hurt these teens because they want to make contact with this group. So even though it's a big target, it's got friendlies hanging from it. So they go up there. The fighter rogue goes up there to fight it too. So they both kind of rush it, and they do attacks. The boar does not care. The boar is just running right off this cliff. He jumps off this 15-foot cliff down below. As he does that, I roll athletics for the Tabaxi teens to try to stay on it. One of them is unable to. One of them flies off the boar into the ground as the boar continues to rush forward at the ranger and the artificer who are on the beach, and they're just like, oh my god, they're right in the line of this thing as the kids are dangling from it, and the other kid goes tumbling. The ranger does not make a save. The artificer does, so the ranger takes a good shot of a gore on the way through. The artificer jumps out of the way just enough. I have the boar kind of swing around in a wide arc because the trampling charge is just 20 feet. To run for 20 feet before I can get a trampling charge. So I'm trying to get the distance around so that next turn I can run in and do some more damage to them. So they're fighting, and they start attacking this boar, and as they're attacking it, the little Tabaxi teens are like, this is our kill, get away, this is our kill. They're like being little brats because it's their honor. If they can take down this boar, they get their tribal names, even though they're not supposed to be doing that right now. They're supposed to be hiding and hiding, but they're teenagers. They do what they want. But if they manage to take this boar down themselves, they all get their tribal Tabaxi names. One of their the Tabaxis have a weird name. They get one of their names. So they're like, "This is our kill," but they're all hurt. They're all bleeding and bloody, and they look like they've been. The one that's on the ground is hurting. They look like they've been through the ringer. So our party's like kind of torn. Do we let these kids fight this thing by themselves as we watch, and they might get murdered, and then we have to deal with Tabaxi and be like, well, your teens got murdered, or do we help them and make them angry because we took their kill away? And it's like, they get to decide that in the middle of combat right here. They decide, screw you kids, we're taking this boar down. Your safety's more important than your honor, because they're not Tabaxi. The Tabaxi rogue kind of understands, but also he's like, if these teens die on our watch, we have no chance of, we can maybe talk these teens down. They can get another boar. If they die, they're done. So they decide to help. They kill the boar. The Tabaxi kids are a little mad, but they kind of talk them down. They're like, whatever, whatever. I literally was calling them boomers or whatever, boomer and stuff. It was hilarious because I was just acting like a, teenage, it was just really fun. So they eventually make friends with these Tabaxi teens, and the Tabaxi teens say, they're like, well, we'll bring you to our elders now, because the elders might have been hiding and might not have made contact with strangers, but just the way this is the way to organically kind of bond them. And they go, we'll bring you now, since you saved our lives, even though we took away our kill. We'll bring you to our elders. So they made contact with Tabaxi. It was successful. And this is a really quick, maybe 3-round encounter. It was just kind of fun, and it really tied in the whole experience, basically. So that was just a really quick video on a really quick encounter. That was a simple... It was like a 2-piece encounter with just like a boar, just a Triceratops. But as you can see, instead of just having an animal there to attack and kill, it had a whole bunch of stuff going on, because it was all the role playing didn't stop during this combat. It all kept going the whole time. It all tied together. It all tied into the quest. It tied into the reason they were here. It tied into the future. They were successful. They had a moral choice. Ended up being a really great quick encounter. And this was like one encounter that we had in this session. Our next encounter was pretty deadly. This will lead into the next encounter where the Tabaxi elders tell them about some owl. They know a place where the owls are kind of sleeping, and it's a whole big thing. So it all ties into this, how the quest, everything in the quest ties into the next thing in the quest. It's just a way to make your world connected with a simple encounter. Encounters don't just have to be encounters. They can be role play, and they can be exposition all in one. And this is an example of that. So I hope that was interesting. We are Omniverse Gamers. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. A lot more videos to come. We're going to just keep making these up and make, tip videos and as many encounters as I can film. So I hope to see you soon, and keep on gaming.